part the Red Sea, use me, part me. All right, come on in. My name is Harrison Elkins, and I teach high school science here at Black Forest Academy in Kandern, Germany. What I want my students to know in environmental science is for them to recognize the responsibility they have of stewardship and how that flows out of the fact that they were created in the image of God. When we start the class, we start off in Genesis and we look at how God created humanity and what the purpose was and the instructions that he first gave Adam and Eve. An important element of that is that we're representing God, not just to other people, but we're representing God to the earth as well. And we are taking care of his creation with the same attitude that he takes care of his creation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 deer. Is that right? Yeah, we've got 8 deer.
I like this game.
All right, and we have 4 resources. All right, so we're over-exhausting our resources. Look like I had a student who started carrying a latex glove in his pocket so that when he would walk outside and he saw trash on the side of the road, he could pick it up and throw it away. And I just was so impressed by that. And that's really what I want my students to walk away with, is when they're outside and they see an area of land or grass or whatever, that they don't just walk by it and say, that's somebody else's responsibility, but for them to say, no, actually that belongs to my God and my Creator, and so therefore I'm going to take care of it. I take responsibility for his creation. I think another way that we carry out that stewardship command is found in one of the other instructions that God gives Adam, which is to name the animals. And that continues even today as we're discovering new species and we're naming them, and just through how I teach my students to classify and identify different animals and plants. And I just remind them it's all going back to that first instruction of naming the animals. And I think that that's because you can't take care of things if you don't know what their names are. They get to go out and observe all sorts of species. We've had thousands of observations that we've made. Yeah, they're not just learning about science, they're actually doing science. They're making connections, and what I want them to walk away with is, by making those connections and learning more about where they live, they can take that a step further and start to take care of God's creation in this area. And they can take that mentality, they can take that attitude wherever they end up going in life. Teaching at Black Forest Academy, teaching at an international school is such a unique opportunity. So many different countries, they all come in speaking so many different languages. That's widened my perspective of the kingdom. That's enabled us to study science to an even greater degree. Just the other day, we were looking at the genetics and the biology of certain African tribes, and looking at how the genetics kind of correlates to different agricultural practices and stuff. And so I was naming and listing off these African tribes, and just seeing the students' hands go up and their faces light up as I realized, like, they've actually lived with these people. They're starting to talk about, like, oh yeah, like I know this tribe and they do this with their agriculture and they do this with these different practices and stuff, and just they're bringing in all of this knowledge. And so when I walk into the classroom, I feel like I'm teaching the whole world. I'm teaching a whole globe here with students from all over who can bring in their experiences. It reminds me how God is not the God of just one nation, but God's love and God's kingdom knows no borders, and how there's going to be one day where he creates a new heaven and a new earth, which is our hope that we're looking forward to. And we're going to have people from every tribe, tongue, and nation there. And I feel like I already have a glimpse of that when I walk into the classroom to teach. And that's just such a privilege.